Yo, welcome to this kind of live overview of the Digitakt. For those that follow me, if you could tweet this out, because I certainly forgot to before I went live. Just want as many people to check it out. I'll just let this beat rock a little bit, and then I'm gonna go over what I think of the Digitakt. Bro. How's everybody doing out there? Be still. What's up, bro? This is the Elektron Digitakt. It's their new groove box sampler and drum machine. It's just my little first impressions here. This is a track that I made on it, like, a few days ago or something. I've had it now for I think a couple of weeks. Give me a sec. What up, Stony? Bear with me, y'all. I'm getting set up. Going live, doing that thing. So I had this whole thing all kind of set up, and I had this video I was gonna edit up together and be like talking about my first impressions of this joint. I got an unboxing and all this stuff, but then I figured, well, I'll just go live and kind of show it off. Kind of show, what it can do. I kind of dig it as a portable piece. The Digitakt. It's a digital drum machine and sampler. So, give me a sec here, man. See if I got another track. So I know a lot of people be thinking, yo, can I really do hip hop with the Digitakt? Yeah, you can do hip hop with the Digitakt. You got swing, it's got quantize. You turn the quantize all the way to 0 to turn it off. And it's got micro timing, so you can move the notes, nudge the notes around. It's got 8 audio tracks, 1 through 8. And then it's got 8 Midi tracks, 9 through 16. You can do mutes. So apparently a lot of people have been wondering if this joint is out yet, if it's shipping yet. I think it started shipping at the latter part of last week, but now we're starting to see people showing up with them. So this is how it's described: 8-voice digital drum computer. It's got your 12-volt DC power on the back, USB, so you can do MIDI through, MIDI over USB. You can do audio over USB when Overbridge is ready. I think Overbridge is going to be ready within another couple of months or so, sometime this summer. You got your MIDI in, MIDI out, MIDI through. MIDI through and MIDI out is sync A and sync B, so you can sync it with older joints, older equipment. So you have your input left and right, and you got your output left and right, plus your headphones. Let's look at the back right quick. So that's what we're looking like on the back. Turn that groove up a little bit. So these are grooves that don't come on there. These are joints that I've made since I've had it, just to give you an idea of what it can do, or what you can do with it. Okay, so let's just go through some of the sounds here. So here's some of the things that, if you've never had an Elektron piece of gear, Elektron has a very specific aesthetic, right? So they make boxy boxes, just like this. You can see that I got the heat sitting here with it because I feel like it's the perfect pairing. Honestly, I almost feel like they should just be together. But if you have the heat, or if you're going to get the Digitakt, you may want to consider getting heat. And I'll just kind of show a little bit of that. Put it on one of my settings that I've created, one of my presets I've created. Yep, like that. Oh yeah, it gets dirty. So that's a preset I created because that's the way I prefer to have it. This is clean though. So, alright, so yeah, I'm playing beats, but I want you to kind of know what's up with this joint. These buttons here, the first top 8 are audio. So you can load samples into there, you can sample stuff right into there, or you can load sounds that are already included on it. These bottom 8, those are Midi tracks. So obviously you can kind of pull MIDI in. I got a lot of external synths and stuff like that. So each one of those is a MIDI track that can do, I think they can take 4 notes each. So you got the full, 1 through 8, 1 through 16 channels, and then you could do 4 notes each. So you could play chords and really make some full-fledged stuff on here. You could start tying together sequences. So let me see. Pattern. I don't know what this next pattern is, but we're just going to switch to it. So you can go from that pattern, you hit pattern, go to the next one. Word. All right. So this is another joint that I made on here. And I think most of this are all included sounds. I think except for the bass. So the bass. And if you can hear that, you can hear the clicking. That's one of the points I want to make about the buttons. So the buttons kind of, they are not pads. Pads like anything else, right? Like NPC pads, if you're expecting that kind of stuff, even for the feel, it's not that. What these are buttons that are, I don't know, plasticky, hard buttons, but I can't say that I don't like them. What they remind me of is stuff like if you all have ever had any other Electron gear, the step buttons, the plastic ones that are at the bottom, or if you've had the machine drum, those buttons, similar to those. Or even, they kind of remind me of the SP12, SP1200 buttons. The difference in all of those and these is that these are sort of rubberized, or at least they kind of have a texture feel that's not slick, and they're backlit. So that's kind of dope. You get a lot of feedback, or not feedback, but you know, you get some visual information as to what's happening and what you're doing. All right, so that's one of the dope things there. Now, this function button here is going to give you everything that you have in orange. So say that's my bass sound. It's my bass sound right there. I can make that chromatic by going function chromatic. Now you see how this pad is lit up. Let's undo that. Count down, 2, 1, boom. Okay. So we have my bass. Just notice how the pads light up when I put it in chromatic mode. Function track is chromatic. And so now you have that you can kind of play your bass lines. You can go up and down in the octave with the up and down keys. All right, so let's get into some of this stuff up here. One of the things you have to realize, now I'm trying to speak to the people who haven't really had Electron stuff. Let's see. What's that question? Yeah, it's a fun little box, man. It's really inspiring, to tell you the truth. I'm gonna be real. I haven't recorded vocals in quite a while. But as soon as I made this one track on here, it was inspired enough that I started writing rhymes and got down and recorded the other night, like almost straight off the box right away. Pulled up Logic and dropped the track and then started recording vocals because I was inspired by the kind of creativity that this thing brings. It has its limitations, but you know, that sparks certain kinds of creativity. So let me just kind of go through what the screen is like. So you have the screen, and you notice there's, you know, these little boxes. There's 4 across the top and 4 across the bottom. What those are these knobs, right? So each one of these knobs correspond, like this is that joint, this is that joint. They correspond to the parameters on the screen. The screens can be changed by hitting these buttons at the bottom. You got your trig menu, or your trig window, your source window, your filter window, your amp window, and your LFO window, right? You also have these other things: quantize, assign, delay, reverb, and master. You get to those by hitting function. You go to master. That's where you can kind of mix your things, your kick, your snare, and all of that stuff. You go to reverb. That's where you can actually have access to all the parameters of the reverb. You know, your pre-delay, your decay, your frequency, your gain, high pass, low pass, volume. Next one is delay. So that's function delay, and you get to access to all your delay parameters. So I'm gonna try to kind of work through this a little bit. I apologize for that. I just got a notice that says that my phone is about to die and I'm going live. So I'll come back, but we're gonna go through some of this stuff. I'm not going anywhere yet. I got some time. So let's kind of go through. So then you have your assign. That's where you can kind of assign a different sample to a pad. And then you have quantize. You have global quantize, or you got your track quantize. All right. So if you want to sample, you go to this button right here, and I don't have anything going in, but this is where you sample, and it's pretty simple. Can I do that right quick? All right, let's see. We'll see if we can get this. I'm gonna go start a break beat. So we can't hear it, but we can see it. And I'm just gonna hit yes. This is how easy it is to sample. You got a sample coming in. You can, because of the way my setup is right now, we can't hear the record playing, but you can typically hear it, right? So I'm just gonna hit yes to sample it. And I'm sampling my brother's MXX Audio's, the Breaks Collective vinyl. You hit yes to stop. It normalizes it. Function yes to play. All right, so that's simple enough. You could name that. And I don't want to save this because I like the track that I got pulled up. But if you wanted to save, you just hit yes. You can go ahead and name it, function. You hit function to use the arrow keys to select. So MSX audio. Figure I'd do this in real time so y'all can see what it's like to actually name this audio. All right, so you hit yes. Then it says you want to assign to a pad. I don't want to assign to a pad though. So what was on 8? I can't remember. That was something that I wanted, and it's not gonna. No, I don't want to assign to a pad. So, and the way you get rid of that is you just hit function no. That clears the pad off. You can see this is still running. Let me stop that break. All right. So at the heart of the matter, let's go. So this is what I got playing here. Let's go to something else. Stop that. All right. So let's see. All right, so let me show you how easy it is to manipulate the sounds here. All right, so we can start here. We'll go to source. You can tune it. You can loop that particular thing. It's going forward now. You can change the direction. It's looping. With that, I can go and it has bit rate reduction. You can go to the filter and filter it. Let me just boost the resonance a little bit. Now tweak the frequency. All right. Then you have the attack, decay, sustain, release, the ADSR, the envelope, the filter envelope. Like so. Or you can go to the amp. And it has overdrive, so let's dial some overdrive in. So what if I want to delay? I know you can go to function reverb or function delay to tweak the actual parameters of the delay. But if I wanted to just add delay, all you're doing is going to amp, and then you have these knobs E and F that are automatically assigned to delay, so you can dial in as much as you want. Delay. Or reverb. Or both. A little more overdrive. And you can bring the volume down and control that. So let's dial that down. Some of the other things you can do with the LFO. Here's something that's cool. Right, so on the filter, see how I'm tweaking the frequency of the filter? Well, I want my invisible hands to do that. So I'm going to go to the LFO. I'm going to set the LFO destination to frequency, filter frequency, and then let it do it for me. So the way you do that is you come here, and destination is knob D. Scroll down to the filter settings and frequency, hit yes. Dial it in. Now it's actually, the LFO is actually tweaking the filter frequency for me. So that's obviously radically different than what it was. Let's go to a different pattern. So some of y'all that may follow my Instagram feed may have been hearing these beats over the last week or two and not knowing that what I was working with was the Digitakt. So because I'm running out of battery, I'm gonna call this a wrap. Be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Be sure to follow me on Instagram and Twitter. And I'm gonna do a more thorough review that I'm kind of editing up right now. But this is my first impression. What I think about it, it's a dope box. You get 8 audio channels. You get 8 MIDI channels. And, you know, although it has its limits, one of the things that I think is one of its limits is the fact that I think it could use like a compressor on the master section. It's called a master section, but it's actually a mixer section. So hopefully in later updates, they'll throw a compressor on there so you can kind of glue things together. The other thing is it doesn't chop. Like if you come from an MPC or machine background, this thing is not necessarily going to give you the facility to chop a sample. But what you can do is you can assign that sample, that same sample. Say you sample a 4 or 5 second sample. You can assign that to a few different pads and then set the start point to the different points that you want. That's the workaround that I've been using now. So something like this, let me just show you how easy it is to change the sample here. You can go to source and just start changing the sample. Right, so that's as easy as it is. You can kind of change that, then you can tune things. Bit reduce. Alright, so that's what I'm gonna show for the day. That is the Digitakt. And yeah, I think for those that have been waiting for it, you won't be disappointed. And if I know anything about Elektron, with my rhythm. They've updated it several times since I've had it. And that last update I think was 1.30, and it became like almost a whole new box. So that's what you can look forward to from this, because they're ill with their updates, and it's a dope little box. There are some things to be desired, but the limitations kind of spark my creativity in a certain way. So yeah, if you're checking for this, I'd say definitely follow your heart and go check it out. One of my best homeboys just went and pre-ordered it a couple weeks ago because had him on a thing like this, kind of showing him what was up. And yeah, if you are planning on getting this, consider getting the Digitakt. I mean, the you don't have to, but the analog heat definitely adds some dope flavor. Yeah, so word. That's the Digitakt. Catch me on the flip side when I do a more thorough review. Peace.